to feel free to pen down whatever questions you might have during the session. And at the question and answer session, we'll take question and answer and discuss more about the time attendance solution. So thank you once again for always being here. We as ZKTeco, we value such loyal customers who would always be interested in our product solution. At this point, I want to give my colleague Ife, that's going to be taking over the presentation from you. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Josh, for the introduction. And I'd like to appreciate you all for coming. So this is yet another section on BioTime. So we had a previous section on BioTime Cloud, which talks about the attendance module. Then we've had a section on BioAccess IVS that talks about an entirely different solution. So now we'll be moving back to the BioTime Cloud because we want people to get accustomed to the functionalities and how easy and efficient our BioTime-NG is. And now, before starting, I'll be showing you everything in real time, like we always do. And I want you to get used to these functionalities like connecting your BioTime to your applications, remote check-in, check-out, and all those. So system administration. So we are going to be looking at all those in this section, and I'll be putting you through some things. If you need any support or any help, I'll be showing you where you can get that. And I figured out that most people, they don't, when I refer them to our YouTube page, they don't really get where the YouTube page is. And on the YouTube, we have a lot of resources that you can make use of. So because when people come to me with a lot of questions about how about time 8 works, how about time NG works. So these are things we've treated in the past and they are on YouTube, they are on our YouTube channels. So these are things you can just look out to and on our YouTube channel and use it as a guide for you. So, and also if you have any doubts or any issues, even after watching the videos on YouTube, so there's also a platform where we can get in touch with you in real time. So you just have to go to that platform and chat us up. So right now I welcome you guys to About Time NG, popularly known as About Time Cloud. So we'll be giving it a different name soon, and you're all going to like what we are about to push forward for you guys. So first, I'm going to be showing you our platform, ZKTeco West Africa. So most people come to me, they ask me about time NG. I don't really know about time NG. I want to know this, I want to know. So the simple things you can just get on about time NG, everything is on our website. And if you have any issues, you can see this Dave from ZKTeco here, chat with Dave. So all you have to do is just send your message and we are going to respond immediately to you. So either if you have any technical issue or you have issues as regards sales or purchase of any products. So back to my BioTime NG. So as you can see in this section, you see BioTime NG. You see something like a subclass here. So when you click on the BioTime NG, so it will take you to our BioTime NG page. So let me minimize the here. So on our BioTime NG page, you see informations uh, about time NG. You see what it looks like, what it talks about. BioTime NG is a smart cloud-based attendance management system that allows for efficient and safe data and information administration. So you see all these things. You see what it offers. AWS, they are hosting our data. It is a cloud computing environment, so you don't need to do any installation. I used to say this every time. So so this training will basically be like a comparison between the BioTime-NG, why you have to use BioTime-NG, and cases where you have to use BioTime-8, cases where you have to use BioTime-NG. I'm going to be explaining all those. So, so if you to get details on, so these are simple details you can get our on our website. So, what you want BioTime for, you can see the main features of BioTime-NG: cloud-based time and attendance software, flexible and smart shift scheduling, auto synchronization of BioTime templates, and real-time monitoring. So you see all those. You see the benefits. So you see start your free trial. So there are so many FAQs that you can get from here. So you can see frequently asked questions. You can check through it. So our email, everything is here. So you don't have to be bothered about where to get your how to get to BioTime-NG and how to effectively maximize what our solution is. You can just get every of the details right here on the BioTime-NG sub page. So I'll be taking you through the BioTime Cloud sign-in page. I'm sure most of us are familiar with our sign-up page. But before that, let me take you to our YouTube channel. So it's very simple. All you have to do is visit YouTube. So when you visit YouTube, right, you just have to search for ZKTeco West Africa. That's all. So and in our on our YouTube channel, there's a sectionalized playlist for every of our trainings and short videos. So we also make videos that would be helpful to you as an installer. So when you type ZKTeco West Africa on the YouTube page, because most people used to ask me, I'm on YouTube, I don't see anything. So you can see we actually see our number of subscribers. So I would implore you guys to just uh, go on our YouTube page and ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be updated on our solutions and our products. So let me and because this is actually going to be an interactive section, so I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh, you can have the floor.
So, like we said during the start of this session, we are changing some dynamics in this session, and we want this session to be as lively as possible and as interactive as possible. So before we proceed, I would like to get feedback from you, please. What has been your experience using ZK BioTime Cloud? What are the challenges you've experienced thus far? So let's start from there. Please, we'd want to get feedback from you. What has been your experience thus far using BioTime Cloud? And what are the most common challenge that you term as obstacles that is affecting your usage of BioTime Cloud? So we now know, okay, let's focus on that problem in this session. So that is what this session will also be looking at. Please, if you have a question, indicate by raising your hand, please.
So, like my colleague just mentioned, if you have a question, you can do well to raise up your hand. Any question as regards about Time Cloud, you can do well to raise your hand.
So we have Mr. Good News who came. Please, Mr. Good News, go ahead and ask.
Okay. I'm just a new, I will just say a new customer to the system. So I'm having challenge on how to connect the system, the device with my own system. That's the challenge I have.
Connecting the device to the system.
Yes, it's a new device. We just bought it. It's a new device to our company. So we are about we have already installed it, but how to connect it to the PC is the problem I'm having now.
Is it the BioTime Cloud or the BioTime 8.0? Because we need to differentiate. There is BioTime 8.0 and there is BioTime Cloud. Which of them do you want to use, Mr. Good News? Which of them do you intend using, Mr. Good News? Please.
It's not the cloud. I just this a K40 device. That's the one we bought.
Okay, so that's very fine. So if you are not making use of the cloud, so you can see my screen, right? So you can see on our page, you can see different playlists on BioTime. This is ZKTeco BioTime setup tutorial. These are softwares on BioTime. So if you've gone through this playlist and you see that you're still having issues, like I said, you can come to our ZKTeco West Africa and you can chat with Dave. So when you chat here, we are going to respond to you in real time. So you can as well do that, and our technical personnel will reach out to you on any issues you're having.
And just to clarify, if I get you, he mentioned that he has K40. Let's clarify using this medium. K40, they are among pool devices, and pool devices don't work with BioTime, either BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud. So the truth is, if you're using any of our BioTime, be it the cloud, be it the 8.0, you need to use the compatible device. And the list of devices that work on BioTime Cloud or BioTime 8.0 are our push devices. So first of all, Mr. Good News, the device you're starting with is not compatible, not compatible on the platform. So I think that is a big. So for the device you currently have, we would advise you to use ZKTimeNet with it. It would work to serve your purpose. But if you want to use the BioTime Cloud or BioTime 8.0, you need a list of our push devices. For example, one of the most common push devices, the MB460, we have the KF160, KF780, 460, and several other devices in that category that make up our push devices. So what very important. I believe I've cleared your question, Mr. Good News.
Okay, so I'm not quite clear anyway, but I'm still trying to comprehend what you are just saying.
What, what I
I
said in
think
essence is that the device you currently have is not compatible with the solution we are talking about today. But we have a solution that works for that device. Is not BioTime Cloud, nor BioTime 8.0. You say you currently have K40, if I get you, right? K40 does not work with BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud. K40 works with ZKTimeNet, and it uses a different parameter of connectivity. So in this session, if you are sharing some connectivity in terms of, okay, how do you do reports? How do you connect device? It's a different way that you connect the device you currently have now to ZKTimeNet from what we are currently discussing. Do you get that? But not to worry, we would have a session for ZKTimeNet. So for those who have had a hands-on experience with ZK BioTime, we want to get their feedback on that. So we'll come to Mr. Good News after this. Mr. Michael Wazi, please, you have a question. Please go ahead, meet yourself.
Hello, good
Hello,
morning,
Mr.
everyone.
Michael. Yeah, good morning.
Please go ahead with your
Go ahead with
question.
your question,
Okay.
please, Mr.
My
Michael.
question is actually, I want to understand why I can't add the device on the cloud without getting back to the support. Is it not a way that should be able to push the device that is compatible with the cloud so that I don't have to always call support for for them to do the back end integration of it.
Okay, so if I get your question correctly, you are asking why do you have to get back to us before adding device? So the thing is, the cloud solution is a new solution of ZKTeco. And before now, we had other products that are push products that the platform they are on, they are our old platform. So the new cloud platform works on a more advanced firmware. So for previous devices, like for example, MB460, the INO1A that we're using, the previous firmware would not work out of the box with BioTime Cloud, but it would work with BioTime 8.0. Hence why, if such happens, we would now need to do a firmware upgrade of these previous devices, that were old devices, to be compatible with BioTime 8.0, or BioTime Cloud rather. Most people, most OEM, what they would have done, they will tell you is not compatible. You have to get a new device. But we understand African markets. We understand that yes, getting the money is not that easy. And most of our customers might have gotten this device and they want to use it on cloud because cloud is the future.
Hello, please, your voice is echoing.
I didn't get you. Mr. Owaze, are you with me?
So
your voice was echoing, so I didn't know. I couldn't get all your messages or all you were saying. There was an echo from somewhere, so I don't know. So I have to unmute. I have to mute my own. So I've seen there's an echo somewhere. So when you're talking, it echoes out. We don't get what you're saying.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
I can hear you very well. I can hear you very
so
well.
what I'm saying is that for our previous generation products, possibly the product that you currently have, they are previous generation products. They are previous generation products. So can you mute, please? Can you mute? So sorry, please. So for these products you have, they are previous generation products. So let's call it a second generation product. Just like your normal processor, you have a fifth generation Core i5, Core i7, Core i3, right? And we have 10th generation Core i5. We even have further generation Core i products, right? So the same thing applies to our products. We have forms, just like your Core i generation and 10th generation, 5th generation. The same thing also applies to the platforms that works on these devices. So for a device to be compatible, first of all, for it to be compatible with BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud, it must be a push device. Okay, so first of all, if it's not a push device, like if you notice, Mr. Good News before, the first person that commented had a device that is not even compatible with any of the platforms. It's not even a push device, so there's no way to work with BioTime Cloud or BioTime 8.0. But for customers who had these compatible push devices that their firmware are obsolete or old, it needs to be upgraded. I can tell you for a certain with assurance that most OEM will not do that. They will not tell you to go and buy a more recent device. You understand that? But what we are doing, we are not saying, no, this device is still compatible, but just that the firmware is old. So you know what? Bring your device in, we will update the firmware, and you can start using that old compatible device to work with BioTime Cloud. So that's why we need it. But note, if you've already gotten the previous the most updated devices that has the most recent firmware, you don't need to bring them in for update. For example, if you're buying a Speed Face, a Pro Face, and Horus, and other devices that are compatible that has the new firmware, you don't need to update it. You don't need to update it. It would work on any of the platform, BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud accordingly. I believe that answers your question, Mr. Mike.
No, hold on, please. Hello, yes, your question is clear.
Very much.
So if the next
person wants to go to Victoria. Victoria
Hello,
Paul, I see your hand is
hello.
up. I don't know if your mic is connected. It doesn't. Your audio is connected. Okay, Mr. Temitope Makinde, please, you have a question, please.
Okay.
So you can also send a chat. We'll respond to you in the chat section also.
All right. Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. Temitope Makinde speaking. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, please.
All right. We have the device from you that we installed in Lagos. We installed it in Lagos, and we installed it in Port Harcourt rather, and the person using it, the HR using it, is in Lagos. But the installation was done in just a few weeks, in less than a week. They are calling us back that they cannot get reports from Port Harcourt. They cannot get it in Lagos any longer. What could be the issue, and how can it be resolved?
So the client, let me get you very well, Madam Temitope. You said the device was installed in where?
Was installed we bought ZKTeco IN01-A. That's the time attendance we bought for them. And it was installed in Port Harcourt. And the person that, yes, with with BioTime 8.0, I think.
Okay, 8.0. Okay, you use 8.0 for the installation.
For the installation, and they are supposed to get reports in Lagos, but now they are having issue. After 1 week, they can no longer get the report. What could be the issue, and how can it be resolved?
Okay, so the thing is this: for BioTime 8.0, for you to do remote viewing of BioTime 8.0, there is more involved. How do we mean? For you to do remote viewing, you need to get a public IP. So the question now is, were they able to access the report before now on the different location? When it was initially installed, were they able to access reports? Did it stop?
When it was installed, our engineer that went to install it, I'm not an engineer actually, but our engineer that went to install it confirmed that it worked that week, that day they installed it, it worked for them. And within that week, there was no complaint from them. It was after a week, they came back complaining that the installation done, that they can no longer get reports from Port Harcourt.
And we have to reach out to us after this session, please. We take it off this session. That is a support related issue.
So who do we talk to after this session? Want to have a name, email, something that we
so
can...
we just reach out to our support channel on our website. You see chat with Dave. And,
sorry, can we have someone we can talk to in Nigeria? We're actually in Lagos, Nigeria. Is there
in Nigeria? That's what I'm saying, man. We are in Nigeria.
I know we have been going through support. It's been I want something that we have. I want to make our customer happy. Is there someone that we can talk to? We'll go through your support, no doubt. We're going to do that. But is there a name, a technical person name that we can talk to?
When you raise the support request, it will still come to us. So not to worry. You get support attended to within an hour. I can assure you that. And it will be coming from any member of the team.
All right. Okay.
It might be attended to.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Would that be all, ma'am? Okay. So the next person we want to take is, I don't know if it's a Mr. or it's a Miss, Victoria Paul. Please kindly unmute.
Okay,
please go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you very much. We actually have this device, the BioTime device in our system, Carboni Dental Clinic, but we've been finding it so difficult to print out attendance list from the system.
To print out what? I didn't get you. I can barely hear you, ma'am.
Attendance list. To print out attendance list.
Is it on BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud?
BioTime 8.0.
Okay.
So
okay, Ife, give me a right to can you on share? Let me do a quick one for our partners. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be sharing my screen, okay, for everyone to see, and I'm going to do a quick run on BioTime 8.0 when it comes to doing everything on BioTime 8.0. Okay. So for what you talk about, say, if I get it right, you said attendant list. So this is BioTime, okay. I believe most of the people who are on this session now would probably be using BioTime 8.0. Some might be using cloud. Okay. So talking about attendance, the first thing which is very important if you are configuring time attendance, the first thing you must do is to calculate. Oftentimes, without any calculation, your attendance is not evenly distributed on your schedule. Okay, so the first thing you need to do after you've done all the setup, you've added your personnel, you've done your area creation, and you've added your device successfully, before you do any attendance transaction, first calculate. Click on attendance, and you go down to configuration, and you see calculation. Okay, with that being done, you pick a range of what you want to calculate. So in this case, let's assume I want to calculate from the beginning of the year to my current dates. Okay, so I'm starting from December 2021 until date. And for the employee, scroll down. It's important for you to note, if you check the down part, you see total records, which means I have over 119 records. But the challenge I'm having now is that this page you're seeing is only showing 20 records because I'm on the 20 per page. So the best thing to do is to click, increase your page listing, and you see it all comes in here. Now you click all your records are highlighted, and you calculate. So what this does, it distributes the attendance calculated so far on the parameter that have been set. So for example, if in these employees that I've set now, I have some people who are on the shift, say from 8 to 12, and they are somewhere on 12 to 1, and they clock in at different times respectively, this attendance calculation is going to distribute their clock in that pattern. So once this is distributed, it will calculate, and distribution is done before you can proceed with any other thing you do. And if you notice, it's taking time because for a long time I've not done calculation on this software. So once that is done, depending on the number of employees you have on this software, it might depend on the time, it might take 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how that was the last time you did calculation and all that. So when that is done, it is believed your attendance should have been distributed accordingly. Now, talking about the attendance list, sorry, I'm about to cancel this because for time's sake. So, talking about the attendance list, there are different things you can do. You can do a schedule preview. A schedule preview should give you a preview of who is supposed to be working on what shifts. So, for example, if I've done a preview of I've scheduled on my staff, if I go to today and I pick, for example, I go to today and I choose an employee, I should see the schedule for all the employees that I have if I had a schedule for them. It's because this is a test account, there's no schedule that is set. But if you want to see attendance, you should see your attendance schedule here. Then another thing you need to note for attendance. Okay, look at if you can see my screen now, right? This is a schedule preview because it's not set. So it's showing you that this person is meant to be on the day of course, because nothing has been said, hence why it's showing this. But if I previously scheduled this person to be on, it will show that this person is going to be on this day. If there's a timetable for the person, it will show the time that the person is meant to work. Just like that accordingly. If it's off, if it's on leave, it will show on the schedule that the person is on leave. Then another thing to note too is the transaction reports for attendance. If you scroll down to still on the side, you see approvals, benefit management, transaction reports. There are different reports you can pull with these transaction reports. But myself, I like pulling with daily reports, right? Daily reports, and you have several reports in the daily reports category. You have total time card. Total time card is just to say how many hours someone worked, when the person checked in and when the person checked out. So you have overtime reports, leave reports, late-in reports. So you pull reports according to your need. According to your need. So most times, what most people who want report do, they would perhaps go to total time card or work hours. Because with total time card and work hours, it will give you the check-in time, the check-out time, work day, the time to which person is meant to be, and all that. Work hours would give you the shift the person is, if the person was late, if the person was left early, if the person was absent, and all that. So you have different report formats that you pull in view of this report transaction that you have on your side here. And the same thing also applies to it if you are using the BioTime Cloud. It looks different, but it's the same feature. So in the BioTime Cloud, you just click on attendance and you scroll down. Of course, the calculator is still also there too, whether you're using cloud or you're using 8.0. If you notice, calculate is still there. But now notice, if you're using the cloud, if you click on daily reports, if you want a comparative or a summary of everything, you go to daily summary. Daily summary gives you a total of the shift the person is supposed to be working, the timetable, the clock-in time, the clock-out time, total work hours, if the person was absent or present, right? Daily details also give you that. Gives you total summary of everything that has been gotten. Daily attendance gives you something similar to that. It gives you the clock-in, the clock-out, actual work hours, total overtime, and normal, all that. So these are just some of the attendance listing that you can see. Then now, if I go to schedule, under schedule, and I go to schedule view for the cloud, schedule view, this one should bring something because this is a live account. Okay, so schedule view for the month. This is what I'm meant to get from the 1st to the 30th of this month. For example, let me pick my colleague Mary. Normally, based on what the schedule that she has been assigned, she's meant to work 23 days in the month of August, and she's expected to do a total of 184 hours. And of course, the break time was not set, so it will show 0 break time. Then the leave, if she was at scheduled to get a leave, how many days for this month to show here? The days off she's meant to get is 6, because calculating days that she's not been working. Then the week off, because the week was not set, so it will show 0. So this is a schedule preview of people in this department. And on the day, each day of the week, each day of the month, the schedule she has been assigned to work, we will see it here. General timetable, which is the 8 to 4. The days she's on off, which is weekend, and she's not going to work. And you see, this is a pattern that you see for everybody that this schedule has been assigned to. So this is a preview. Then this transaction reports, you can use it for daily or you can use it for month, depending on how you want to span it. So this is what it is. I believe, Mr. Victoria, did I answer your question?
Okay. I still want to know how to print it out. Like, where can we go to print it out? Because I tried exporting it before and I didn't.
Where can you go to do what this? I'm struggling to hear you.
Where can I go to print out the attendance list? Because I tried exporting it as an Excel sheet or Excel file, but it didn't show. It didn't show in my
print out what?
The attendance list,
To
like we
print
need
out.
the hard copy. The
Okay, so
attendance list.
can you clarify with me by attendance list? You mean attendance sheet? Okay, the day they were they were
Yes,
present, the day they were
yes,
not.
the check-in time, the check-out time,
Okay,
the sheet. We
okay,
need to print it out.
okay. So what software are you using? Is it the cloud or the 8.0?
It's 8.0.
Okay, so the check-in, right? This is what I showed you here now. Let me share my screen again, please. I'll share my screen again. Okay. Okay. I believe you can see my screen now. So,
Yes, I can.
okay, so for in this case, you want to do a monthly report. You have monthly check-in and out, right? You have monthly work hours. You have monthly status. Depending on how you want your report to come out. So let's, for example, let me use monthly status. Let me put a report on monthly status or no, the monthly check-in and check-out. The reason why I'm not even using this is because there is no check-in and check-out on this because this is a test account.
Okay.
So what I'll do now is I will use a date, a backdated date that I would possibly get a check-in and check-out. Please. So the challenge we have with this now is because it's not being used. So that is my problem. That is my problem. This is not action on it to pull. But this, let me show you what you do. So if are you doing on the software, madam? Are you signing?
Okay, let me
To
do
believe
that.
you are signing. Yeah. So what you do is you go to after you've put your report, depending on how you want your report to come out. So let's assume you are using the total time card. Total time card will show you everything that you see here now. When you put the report, it will show you the weekday, the time to the person is going to be on, the duration, and the work day, clock in and clock out. That's what you see on the total time card. Okay. If that's what you get and that's what you see, now what you need to do, you need to click on this. You see this arrow here? You see export.
Okay.
You export it in CXV, PDF, Excel format, whatever format you want to do. If you put your report, it's going to come out showing you clock in, clock out, worked hours, the time the person was late. All your reports that we've put here, you can export it using the same format. Just when your report comes out, you see it populated in this sheet using this row. Let me go to please. Okay, let me use this. Let me use this because it's still the same thing that applies. Since we have transaction on this, let me use this. So attendance, and we go to monthly daily details. Let's see daily details. So so this is it. So let me pull for just myself. Okay. Here is Josh. Josh is lost. Yeah, I've seen Josh. Okay, so we are pulling for just Josh. Okay, I believe everybody's following. So I'm using let me use from the start of this month. Note, something is happening here. I've not calculated. So that's a mistake. We should try to avoid. First thing we need to do, calculate. So I go to calculate. And if you notice, report is not complete there because I've not done calculation. So now I go to calculate and I click on it. Ensure that it is properly calculated before I pull my report. Else, I will get inaccurate reports. Very inaccurate reports. So I go in here. I say, okay, I want to do from, let's just calculate for these dates. Today, everybody, and I click here and I calculate. It shouldn't take long because we don't have much on this. Okay, so calculation done. So now calculation done, we go to attendance and still here on daily reports, daily summary. And now I pull reports for Josh. Here is the black face Josh. This is the guy. Okay. Yep. Oh, sorry, I'm picking wrong person. Okay. Okay. So this is for the blackface guy called Josh that works in this office, right? And I've pulled the report from the 1st of this month to today. And if you notice, there is a pattern that is evident here. Before now, when I put report, it wasn't showing accurate because I've not calculated. But after calculate, it comes up showing the way it ought to be, right? So now this is what you get. Typical reports, right? This is the same pattern whether you're using the what you need to do if you want to export this report, you need to just click on this corner. See the arrow facing your right. You click on it, export, and you click on the form test, CSV, Excel, or PDF. Do that, it means this report is going to be exported. And you click on current page, all data, then click on all data, and voila, you have your report exported. And you can print this out. This is it. Same report you just had now. You can now print this out. Showing the day I clocked in, the day I didn't clock out, because the day I was absent. Because it shows you this is what you get. So you try this in your cloud or in your BioTime 8.0.
Yeah, also if you're having issues, as regards exporting, there's a link on the chat section where you can see a video, a tutorial video on how you can export and import charts, attendance charts on BioTime 8. So, Mr. Josh, you can proceed.
So, Ms. Victoria, I believe you're clear with that now, please.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm clear with that. Or the only situation we have now is syncing data to the system, the software. Because
Thinking
most
what? I
of
didn't
our
get you.
data, syncing data from the device to the software.
Okay.
So we have an issue where it's only data, May data, like the month of May that has been showing, and June, July is not showing. Or we need to print out this data, or we can't sync it in.
Have you done the calculation? Have you clicked on calculate before pulling your reports?
Okay,
That
let
could
me
be
do
your
this
problem
one.
because it's possible.
Okay.
This is it. I'm going to be sharing my screen again. It's possible that the device is getting a transaction, but
Okay.
you're not able to see it in your report because you've not done calculation. So the best thing to do for you, the best thing to do would be to ensure that, because if you click on your device, you go to device and go to device command, then go to data, click on transaction. Are you there? Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Just follow this process now. Click on device, click on transaction. You will see all the transaction. Check the most recent transaction that's log you see on the software. If it's not recent, it means it's not synchronizing. But if it's recent, it means it's synchronizing. But the reason you're not seeing it on your report is because you've not calculated. So check that and get back to us after this session, please.
Okay, thank you.
If you have any other issue, please reach out to us or support. We're more than glad to assist you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I believe that will be all for you, Ms. Victoria, please.
Yes, that would be.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the next person that we want to take the question from now is Mr. Prince. Listen to me. Mr. Prince, please go ahead with your question. You've been given me right on it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've listened to your training, and I must confess I'm impressed. But I have just two questions, probably maybe a clarification. Number one, you said your solution allow us to bring old device for
That
upgrade
are
to work
compatible.
with the compatible to work with the
Yes,
new software. Now I have
the
my
cloud
client that
software.
actually I have my clients that I actually bought the K40 for them. It has been installed, though they've been having issues. The issues have been connecting to system, extracting information, and working on it so that they can pay their staff based on their item D. I have tried severally to see how that can be done. Yeah, we successfully linked the K40 to the system, but when we want to extract, it's not giving us what we want. So what I do for them is use the flash drive to copy the information from the K40, bring it to the system. So what they do is they use numbers assigned to the employee to calculate the time they clock in and the time they clock out, to calculate overtime and what have you. Now, knowing that we can bring it back if it is compatible for them to use the latest or the current software. The first question is, if I collect their K40 and bring over to your office, can it be programmed to work with the BioTime 8.0? That's the first question.
Yeah, the answer to that is no, sir. Like I mentioned, sir, when the session started, K40 is not in the category of our push devices. So, sir, let me clarify. We have two categories of devices when it comes to time attendance. We have the push and we have the pull. K40 is one of our legendary products, and K40 is in the category of the pull device, not the push. So if you have a device like K40, like F18, you are using a pull device that is not compatible with BioTime 8.0 or BioTime Cloud. So there is nothing we can do about such pull devices. So for that K40, there is a software that you can use to manage it, ZKTeco. But the problem we've seen most of our customers having with K40 and ZKTeco is that they don't know how to use it. They are still using the previous and different ZKTeco 5.0, but they don't know how to use ZKTeco 3.5. So the new software we are using for such K40 is ZKTeco 3.0. So for that ZKTeco 3.0, because of this feedback we've gotten, we're going to be having a session in the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be on ZKTeco. So for those who have such issues, they should do well to stay tuned to this channel or reach out to us after this session on how to a solution to ZKTeco and devices that work with ZKTeco accordingly. Most issues we've had on ZKTeco are still on the setting, the parameters, and people not knowing what to do and how to connect it. That is the issue we've had. So for this, let's talk after this session, please. You can reach out to the support team who would show you how to connect it. And because the idea of using a USB is not advised, because over time we find out that our customer end up compromising their device by plugging and removing USB to the device. So most times we advise them to connect using TCP/IP to software, Mr. Prince. So I don't know. So order of your question, please. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I definitely need to talk with you people after the section because I need that resolved because my clients are actually complaining. Then another thing I discovered when you actually get in the summary of the attendees from the BioTime 8.0, you pick just an individual record. That is yours, Josh, the Josh record. Now the question is, can we pick a summary of all the employee records using that BioTime 8.0?
Same thing applies. The same way I pick one, I can click on all. It highlights everybody. I can even pick on department. I can say, okay, I want to pick for this department. just for that department alone, and it picks for just that department. Or I can decide to say, no, I want to pick for people using just this device, and I pick attendance accordingly for them. So if you permit me now to share my screen, I'll show you now in this case. So if I was picking for people that are for the whole department, what I would have done, if I click on this drop down on employee, right? What I need to do is, maybe if I want to do at departmental level, I will click for department. And if you see, it's bringing only name of those who are in the BDM department. If I want to pick one department, what I need to do is just click on all. And if you see, it's highlighting those that are all that are in this BDM department. And you can see my colleague who are in the BDM department, their name coming up. So now if I decide to say, okay, no, I want to pick for 6 years, what I need to do is click on 6 years, and you see it reloads. And I untick BDM. What you see here is the name is now coming up for those who are in BDM CCS department. So these are different things you can do. You can decide to pick individual, you can decide to pick departments at department level, you can decide to pick at area level. Area level means, for example, if you notice now, if I click on area, we have VI head office. I can have several areas. So I can have, we have colleagues who are working from Ibadan, from Akwa Ibom. We have colleagues who are working from different regions. I think she's on this session. Her name is Enid, working from Akwa Ibom. So let's assume we have a branch in Akwa Ibom, and I want to pick for only those at Akwa Ibom. I just need to go to the area and pick that Akwa Ibom. I will get reports for all those in Akwa Ibom and put their report accordingly. So it depends on how you want to put your reports. You can do individual, you can do everybody, you can do departmental, you can do randomly. You get that, sir?
Yes, sir. Now, one last question before I let go, please. I have a client who have his factories in a particular state, precisely Ogun State, but different areas in Ogun State. And I'm proposing the BioTime, actually they have K40. They have K40 in most of them. We buy individually. Each factory have their own K40. This factory have their own K40. It has been an issue. How do we link all together so that from the head office, he can actually access all the attendants from just like what you showed, the area team you just displayed. That's at least bring me to this question. He can access from his attendants there and know those that are the attendance summary of each of the factory from the head office. And from the look of things, the BioTime 8.0, I guess, is an offline something, while the cloud is an online software. So I want to ask, if the net time, the ZKTeco 5.0 is configured, can it do that work for them, or do they need to go for another device that supports the BioCloud?
My colleague Ife will answer that question, please.
Okay, please.
Okay, so it seems my colleague is sort of busy. So let me answer your question. First of all, K40 does not work with BioTime, so there's no way it can be configured. Then second, the device you're talking in question, the pool device does not do multiple location. So the only solution for your clients is for them to get a compatible device. So K40 will not do it for them. And the software that works with K40 is ZKTeco 3.0. 5.0 is obsolete and no longer in use. And K40 and the TimeNet cannot be configured to be viewed remotely. The only way you can view TimeNet remotely is if you are getting TeamViewer or AnyDesk and you are getting remote access. That's the only way. Unlike BioTime 8.0 BioTime Cloud, you can use it for several locations. But important to note, for those who already know, who have attended our several sessions, they will know that we've always mentioned is that if you are using ZK BioTime 8.0 and you want to do remote location, so for example, the head office is in Abuja and they have several locations in Port Harcourt, in Kaduna, in Bauchi, and you want the head office in Abuja to pull reports at this central location without calling somebody to send report. For you to do that with 8.0, you need a public IP. So you might need to meet your service provider and say, I need a dedicated public IP, and you need to do your port forwarding for you to do that. And because we know it's always a challenge, that is why we now have the cloud. For the cloud, you don't need a public IP. You just need an internet, and any means to ensure that your device is connected to that internet, be it wired or wireless. So that is why we recommend people that if you want to use this solution, get your internet for the cloud. But if you want to use BioTime 8.0, get a public IP and your internet, and you can use from anywhere. But to answer your question again, to further restate it, K40 will not serve the purpose of what you want to do for your client. So they might need to get a compatible device to work with that solution, sir.
Okay, thank you. It means the K40 they had now is obsolete. So they probably need to just put it somewhere and will come for the new devices. Thank you. That will be all for now.
Okay, thanks so much, Mr. Prince. Okay, so Mr. Prince, we are done with that. Let's take Mr. Oladayo Owolabi. Owolabi, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Please, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, please, I need a suggestion in particular. Oh, I have a client whereby the client needs a remote time and pedant login for their staff that are working from home. So,
Okay.
what is your suggestion about that? What platform can be used to achieve that?
So the platform that would work out of the box without your clients having much trouble will be BioTime Cloud. So what makes BioTime Cloud unique? What makes BioTime Cloud unique? Ability for it to be used on a mobile application. So in this case, for the clients who are working from home, the day they are working from home, they can plug in on their mobile device on their phone, and you can do geotagging and geofencing. So with geotagging and geofencing, what that does is ensuring that that staff is at that location where it's meant to clock in, or at every given time it clocks in, depending on the access level you've given the staff. At every given time it clocks in, his smartphone location where he's at presently is tagged and picked and sent alongside as his clocking details. So if a staff clocks in from Bahamas, perhaps he's in Bahamas having his vacation, you're going to tell you that this staff is clocking in from the mobile device in Bahamas, and he's in maybe one beach or whatever, enjoying himself perhaps, and he's working from home anyway. So yes, I would recommend you use the BioTime Cloud for such.
Okay, and secondly, because people that will be in the office, they will make use of a physical ZKTeco
yes, clocking device.
So
yes.
How can we integrate both together so to have access to that at the back end?
Okay, so I will share my screen now to explain that to you. So this is the BioTime Cloud, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so the BioTime Cloud, when you look at the BioTime Cloud, you have device command, firmware management. Now, scroll down, you see mobile application here. Okay. From what you can see now, you can see device. And all the devices are connected, we see accordingly. You see the user, how many users have registered on each device, which one is online, which one is offline. Okay. You see how many fingerprints are registered, how many faces are registered on the device, and all that. Now, if you go to the mobile application, the same thing also applies. You see how many accounts you have. How many accounts has been activated? How many has not been activated? If it's on Android, if it's on iOS, you also see it here. And from what you can see, if you can see my screen, you can see on our account how many has been activated, how many is using Android. We just have one person that is using iOS, and I'm very sure it's one of my colleagues, Monday. So in this case now, all transaction automatically is synchronized. So what I need to do is every employee access to clock in from their mobile application is pretty much simple. So you go to personnel, right? And on personnel, you click as if you want to add, you click on add a colleague, okay? So on personnel, go to employee. Under employee management, you click on it. So in this case, I will pick on my colleague and in my department, Chigozie. Okay, a minute. Okay, this is Chigozie. So I pick on Chigozie. Okay. So in this case now, if I want to give Chigozie mobile access, the first thing I need to do on my software on the cloud is scroll down to where you have personal information. The next is device setting. The next is attendance setting, document. Then you have mobile app setting. If you notice, under mobile app setting, the mobile app activation is not activated for Chigozie. So in this case, if I want to activate this mobile application for Chigozie, so that every time Chigozie punch from his mobile phone, it synchronizes my software. What I need to do is come here, enable mobile app for him. Then the next is mobile attendance punch, enable it. Then I set his role, of course. Chigozie being one of the team lead in our support team, I can decide to give him administrative role or an employee role. So this depends on the role he has. So on the app, he's an employee. And with that, what I just did now is I just gave Chigozie an access for him to log in mobile application. And then another important information you need for a mobile application is your email. Your email is very important. So in this case now, for me to activate this account for Chigozie, I need to use this email to sign in, his email and password that he will get when he wants to activate his account, to sign in on that. So believing I've done this, so I confirm this, and that means Chigozie now has access. If you check now, he has access to log in from his mobile account. So that's how you give people access on their mobile accounts. So with his login details now, Chigozie can now access the mobile account, and punch is automatically captured whenever he clocks in and whenever he clocks out. That is how you do that. Then you can also do geofencing and geotagging here. Geofencing and geotagging is just restricting the employee to a place, ensuring that it's clocking from that place. That's what you can do here under this geofencing of employee, geofencing of a department, and of course, managing of your mobile account. You can deactivate, you can activate. Does that answer your question, please? Okay, so we're trying to round up now because we know we still have some questions we're not taken. Mr. Yemi Wamuyiwa, please, you have a question, please. We want to try as much as we can. That if it's a question that has been taken up, we're rounding up in next 30 minutes, please. So Mr.
Right,
you can go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Josh, thank you.
Yes,
in case if I have two devices, as in one for clocking in and the other one for clocking out, how do I set that? How do I achieve that? That's number one. Then number two is not more of a question, is what I noticed yesterday. I downloaded the BioTime cloud application, and in the section where I'm supposed to input the URL of the clients, I couldn't input everything, So how do we correct that?
Mr. Yemi, your problem is already being sorted out, sir. You already know. So your problem is already being sorted out. So the device you were using before is not, it's an old device, right? You're using iKnow, right? If I get you. And iKnow
the issue is a different ball game. The issue with that device is I'm using iKnow 1A, and there's no cloud server settings on it. So I was given the patch yesterday, which I used, and
that's what we
I
are
was
saying,
able to.
Mr. Yemi.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Yemi,
not that's not what
for
the
time's sake.
question is all about, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the cloud server you're talking about, the patch you got.
No, Mr. Josh, my question is not all about.
Okay, let me get your question.
Speak on.
All right, Mr. Yemi. So your iKnow device actually has an outdated push-com. So we have devices with outdated push-com that won't connect to the BioTime-NG, right? So all you have to do is reach out to us. We update the device for you so that it can support ADMS. It can support ADMS. So with the URL, you said you're trying to input and you couldn't do that. It is because the push version of the Hino is outdated. So I think our support guy reached out to you yesterday to request for your Hino on a device. So everything will be sorted out. Thank you very
No,
much.
Mr. Ife, yeah, Mr. Ife, the question is not about that. I know that that one is being sorted out. On mobile app, I downloaded mobile app on my phone and I was trying to input the details. So when I wanted to input the URL, I couldn't input all the alphabets. You understand? So with that, I couldn't, get access to
Mr. Yemi,
the
you're in the
BioTime
office.
cloud.
You're in our office already. Let's talk after this session. You're in the office.
Okay,
Let's save
all
time and
right,
talk after this session. You're already in the office.
all
You should
right,
be bringing
thank
this
you.
to us. So we need
Okay,
to
all
answer
right,
the question. So let's save time and others will ask questions. Mr. Yemi, you're in the office. Hey, Mr. Yemi,
all right, thank
why are you
you.
doing
Yeah.
this now? There are people who have not asked questions. Mr. Yemi that's in the office here. That's me. If I would know it as Mr. Yemi said, I would have. Mr. Yemi, why are you doing us like this? And you're here in the office. Mr. Bam, Mr. People who are asking questions would have taken this time to answer their question.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Bamidele Adekunle, please. Please, if it's a question that has been touched, we want to avoid it because we have other people who have questions. We want to take as much questions as we can attend to this. So, Mr. Bamidele, please go ahead. Yes, please, we can hear you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I installed BioTime Cloud and I sense these two problems. One of it is that the device will synchronize, but you can't get the data in the device has been a major problem to me. Then number two, the geotagging. Sometimes if I geotag for 100 meters, sometimes it works within that environment. After sometimes it will be giving them that they are not within the location where the stuff is. So this has been a problem because I realized there was a time I was checking, I saw somebody checking from an unknown address, and I decided to tag everybody. But every time they give an hint that it's not within that area. So that is the problem.
Okay, so for that, what could be the possible cause for that is perhaps check the coordinates, the longitude and latitude that was chosen when the initial geotagging was done. Check the coordinate because sometimes because if you've used Bolt and Uber, you understand what I'm talking about. So your address and you find out your Bolt or your Uber guy goes to another number because Google Map has directed him to another number. So sometimes it might be a mapping issue. So find on Google Map that location you currently are tagging. Is it the actual location that Google Map has tagged for that address? Because I noticed my place, my house address is 81, but on Google Map, if I'm picking that same place, whenever I do my current location, is seeing my address as 67. So imagine in that case, if I'm not geotagging my address using 81, and Google is seeing my that location as 67, of course, I'm not in that location. Even if I use 100 meters radius, because 100 meters is still not close to 81. 81 is quite far from 87, and it's 67. So that could be the possible reason. So check, actually, that is the reason why you're having such issue. Ensure that the current address, the longitude and latitude actually matches with what you've set. That would solve that problem, Mr. Adekunle, please. Mr. Bamidele, please.
Then the second one I asked, you will successfully add your device, but it will synchronize. But for you to extract the data on your device to complement yourself is practically impossible.
When you mean a stress, I don't understand. Did you click on calculate?
No, when you will see the
on calculate, it will solve your problem, sir. The main thing is that, so sir, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. 1 minute, please. Let me show you something. Let me share my screen and show you something. Where if the only time you know a device is faulty is when you go to a transaction. If you click on, if you can see my screen, everyone, you can see my screen. If you click on the device, okay, and if you notice that your registered users that you've registered on the software is not showing on the device, meaning it's not synchronizing. Then now you go to data and you click on transaction. Okay, the transaction here is not showing on the device and it's not showing you successful. It means there is a problem. And lastly, where you confirm is when you click on device command. You click on device command, you see every transaction, if it's synchronizing with the device or not. This applies to whether you're using BioTime 8.0 BioTime Cloud. If you look at it on the left, on the right corner, you see at this place here, Mr. Bamdele, return value successful. So check on your software and see if it's not successful. It will show you not successful, meaning your push communication is incompatible with software, so it needs to be updated. So check your software, check if you are getting a return value of successful. If it's not showing successful, which means there is no synchronization, but if it's showing successful, which means you need to go and calculate. So do that and get back to us, please. Your question is answered, Mr. Dele.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel Lukoyade, please. You have the floor.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My question is in two parts. Let me come to the first one. I think it's related to what someone asked, but not like I'm trying to repeat the question again. It's about those that have had your old devices, talking about ZKTeco, K40 and the likes. Because imagine a situation whereby a company has several locations and nothing is wrong with those devices. They are still serving them. They are still working, right? Either for those that are actually network-based, that is, they are linked to a particular server or maybe an HR computer where the data are usually populated, or the ones that they use USB to download the data from, right? But in this case, you have actually moved forward. There has been an improvement, and this is actually a very welcoming innovation. But instead of having to totally replace all of these devices, right? To now come in or condemn them and then go for a different one. Is there a way, instead of having to depend on AnyDesk, TeamViewer, and the likes, is there a way such that the same configuration, the same data that they have in those hardware devices can actually now be downloaded, right? And then be imported into your cloud platform without having to actually get hardware devices? Or what they're only doing is they're actually processing the existing file in these hardwares and then using the cloud solution, which is the biotech, what do you call it now? Not 8.0 now, the cloud biotech, without having to go for an hardware. Is that workable at all, please?
Yes, it's workable.
Thank you.
Very workable. So in this case, what you want to do, you want to import the database and transaction on the ZKTeco to BioTime 8.0 BioTime Cloud. Yes, that's the answer.
Okay, so but would that come with any additional cost, like to be on BioTime Cloud, right? Is there any monthly subscription to it or something like that?
BioTime Cloud. It's a cloud solution, of course. It comes with at a cost, but we are giving BioTime Cloud for a year. So as many users as you're putting on our cloud platform for now is free. And you know, we are using a very secure cloud platform, which is the Amazon AWS. Ensuring security encryption. And we are paying heavily for it as an OEM. Every data, every user that is added to that cloud server, we as ZKTeco, we are paying for it. But we understand that African, they have reservation about subscription. But that's why we wanted to have the value. And that's why we're giving everyone free for a year. So for now, it's free. Irrespective of how many devices or how many users you have, it's free for now.
Okay, just for
after 1 year, you start being charged for it, but the price will be fair.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's okay. Let me just ask, at least for confirmation purpose. Okay, so should in case I haven't deployed any of your hardwares and then working or pulling data from AWS, already I'm on AWS and I'm actually a tech solution provider myself. And is there a way I can actually interact with any of ZKTeco API, right, to customize my own platform such that even though I'm pulling data without having to disconnect from whatever subscription I'm paying to you guys, but I'm solely able to manage my platform because it's actually deployed and managed by my own technology and solution. Is that doable at all?
Yes, we have API that can work with your existing solution, but you depending on what you're doing, you can discuss with us after this session.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all.
But I also know that depending on the scope of what you're doing, API is not free, bros.
I do know, yeah. That's what I said. Even if it means that
I'm just throwing it out there because many people.
No, I know. I agree with you. That was what I said. See, it's not even like I'm totally trying to cut off, right? I do know. I know that. So that's why I said, even if it means it come at a cost, or it means that, okay, you serve as my data feeder, right? Maybe ingress. So
a middleware or a middle table.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you very much. More like hybrid solution kind of a thing. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, I get you. No problem. You shout to us. Okay. So, Mr. Temitokpe, I think the question. Mr. Temitokpe Makinde, your hand is up, please. Do you have a question? Mr. Bamidele Adekunle, your hand is still up. Do you still have a question? That needs any clarification? Okay. Okay, believing your question has been answered. So if I please, are there any question on the chat that we want to quickly run through?
We've had numerous questions on the charts that have been answered. And I think the one that stood out here is someone is saying, how do we limit exemption to only first week? How do I set a rule to remove an employee that resigns automatically from a device?
Okay, so for certain employee, let's quickly show you an employee that resigned. In whether you're using BioTime Cloud or BioTime 8.0, there is a resign category there. I'll be sharing my screen now. Then you said exemption for a week. Exemption and okay, let's take exemption and resignation. Okay, so if you go to employee, okay, you click on employee. So we have an employee here. So if I click on this employee, we have several information. What I need to do in this case, for using BioTime 8.0, is this employee, I just click on personnel transfer and I move this employee to resignation. And resignation dates, I input it here. Reason for resignation: quit, terminated, resign, transfer, retain job, whatever reason. I type in whatever jargon I want to type and confirm. And voila. That employee, if you go to your resign, you will not see that person there showing here. So that means that person access to your time attendance has been deactivated. You cannot do anything or clock on any clock. That's how you do it on BioTime 8.0. Then on BioTime Cloud, it's the same thing, almost the same process. Personnel, employee. When you click on the employee, you click on the person, and personnel transfer, resignation, same thing. Then for creating exemption, okay. So exemption, by exemption, we are talking about, so a staff, let's assume a staff calls and said, oh, please, I will not be coming to work today. My grandmother, great grandfather just gave birth to a baby man or baby girl or whatever. So because of that, I'm going to be the one to bath the baby. Okay. So exemption is pretty much simple. Just go to attendance, scroll down to approval. Okay, then we have it there as manual log. You click on it, manual log, you click add. You select the employee you want to create the exemption for. So in this case, let's put employee 22. It's called Prosper. Auto approve, or if you want to deactivate, depending on the setting. The punch time. So let's say it came to work on the Monday. Select time. It's meant to clock in by, say, 8. Confirm. Work code. Is that your choice? Reason. Great grandmother gave birth. Whatever reason you put there, or his great grandfather, girlfriend's boyfriend just had a child, and voila, you confirm. Punch state checking. Confirm. Punch state, and that's it. Exemption created for Prosper. That's how you create an exemption. So if you want to do checkout, the same thing for the person. That's how you create an exemption. As pretty as simple as that. Okay, Ife, next question. I see, Mr. Akindo, your hand is up. You have a question, please. We're rounding up in the next 9 minutes. Please go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I actually came in late and I had a lot of things I was trying to do. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've been battling with one issue for a long while now. And in ZKTeco, I mean, the BioTime 8.0. I've been battling with it for a while. The first time we started, I discovered that we had 0.08.02. That was the first one we're using, and I discovered that we're unable to inject in our holidays and training. So I worked with you, especially, that's Mr. Josh. That was the time you did it for me and you told me that one was obsolete, that I needed to download the new one, in which we did. And we upgraded it to 8.0.7, and we're still facing the same problem. So I complained to your support team. They started, somebody, I don't know the name, somebody worked on it for like 2 weeks, and he was unable to reach anything about it. He was just trying to do some other thing, which I don't understand. So up till now, I'm facing this
holiday settings.
Yes, holidays. Yes, it's not reflecting in my report. As soon as I inject it in, we have a place where you go to benefit management or something. You inject in the holidays, and I'm expecting it to reflect in my report. It will still be showing me absent. And that thing has, we had series of holidays in recent, even Democracy Day, the other Salah Day, everything. Up till now, I'm unable to inject it in. I'm just trying to see how we'll be able to improvise, to use another way so that I can get the report done. So I'm not getting the holidays done. Up till now, it's not reflecting in my reports.
Benefit management. When you click on did you click calculate?
Yes, now.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I'm looking at what you are doing. Exactly. It's just the same.
Basic setting.
Yes. Yes. And you go, yes, just like
duration.
that. Yes.
Number of days, part-time disabled, defaults, and department I want to apply your holiday to.
Yes. Something, yeah, exactly. It's just the same like
Confirmed.
that. So then the name of the holiday. So as soon as I go to the monthly report where you have the status report, I go to it, I will see it that is still reflecting. It's not giving me the holiday. It will still be showing me absent.
There's something that needs to be done that you've not done. Don't worry, Mr. Don't worry. After this session, send it. Send it to your link. I'll get on that. It's minor issue.
All right. Can I send it to your own WhatsApp?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Mr. Babatope Adebayo, please, you have a question? Can you go ahead? Mr. Babatope Adebayo.
Hello.
Yes,
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I joined very late. We just had the software installed, I think almost a month now. And after the installation, the officer that came for the installation did not really put us through the software bit. Excuse me. Although we've tried our hands on it, we've done one or two things. People are clocking in and out, but I need to be able to understand how to create the rules for leave application, as well as the geofencing for our staff outside location. You get, so that's why I'm trying to confirm if this have been handled before. How else will I be able to get the directions?
This has been handled. What you do is you get a recording of this session. You see it on our YouTube channel, and also you reach out to our support team. Share with you data sheets and FAQ guides that will guide you.
And also our YouTube link to anything as regards BioTime 8 has been shared in the chat section, so you can do well to go through the chat section, find the link to anything as regards BioTime on our YouTube page.
On the chat section, yeah.
Yes.
Can't say anything. Maybe they're far gone.
If can you reshare it again?
Share it again.
Okay, that
would be appreciated. Yeah.
Kindo Olabisi,
all right.
That's the last question we'll be taking. Mr. Kindo Olabisi.
All right.
Olabisi, can you unmute this? Mr. Kindo Olabisi, can you unmute? We can't hear you.
I was not saying anything again. You have actually dealt with what I wanted to say. You said I should get back to you privately. I'll do that.
That's fine. So, are we taking all the questions on the chat? I think we attended to. Okay. So, believing that most and pertinent questions has been attended to, would be running up this session now. So please, in the event you have any question, please do well to reach out to us via our chat support session. We try as much as we can to attend to support within the shortest possible. So if you have any issue, please reach out to us via the chat session on our support chat session. In this, from that chat session, we get support link and you can chat with us directly. Myself, my colleague. Sometimes the people you chat with is either me, myself, and several of my colleagues. So we try as much as we can to attend to your support. And we want to use this medium to encourage all our partners and all our people who are interested in our product. So please visit all our social media handles. It has been shared with you across different platforms. You want to follow us, you want to like our page, you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where you get real-time updates on solutions and products that ZKTeco has to offer. And of course, we have training and retraining ongoing. And when you're in that, please do well to reach out to the support team for clarification. And that's about it. I really wish I could share my contact details. I see some people asking for my phone number. Don't worry, you can reach out to us via chat. You get attended to accordingly. And depending on the support we can. And if you have any issues on question on commercial, okay, how much does it cost? Please do well to reach out to your account manager, the salesperson that perhaps send this training invite to you, or the person that you've been discussing with. It could be Chineye, could be Kelechi, could be Victor, could be Latif, Jubril, or Taufik. please do well to reach out to your account manager when it comes to issues on commercials. How much do you sell this software? How much do you sell this device? Please, you want to do well to reach out to any of your account manager and and if you want to get more information, please do well to subscribe to our channel. And whenever a training comes up, we usually have this training every 2 weeks. So we want to do well to keep a date with us. And you get the same training link from the same medium you got this one from. So please be on the lookout for subsequent training and subsequent sessions. So please don't forget to reach out to us, give us feedback on what you've gotten so far, how this review, how this session has been. We want to get the feedback from you. Was it did it serve you and all that? Do you think there's things we need to improve on as ZKTeco? So on this note, we're going to be rounding up, but I still see a hand. I don't like leaving a hand unanswered. To Mr. Polayo, please, can you make it as brief as possible, please, so we don't keep others waiting, please? We're supposed to round up by 12:30.
Yes.
This 12:30 already.
Yes.
As brief as possible, please.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I also joined a little bit late. I have a challenge. I sent a mail to your support for. I have a ZKTeco device, which I was told is not meant for our region. That is Silk Bio 101 TC. And I was trying to reset it. I needed help to set it up and to reset it and set it up for our use, but I seem to be facing challenges to reset it, clear every data on it, and then now be able to set it up to now onboard people onto it for use. So if I can get any help, I'll be very much appreciative.
Okay, very well, sir. So just to clarify, please, if as ZKTeco as an OEM, if we are supporting any solution or product that is not for our region, it's going to come at a cost, because we have products that are region specific. We have products that are not sold by us as ZKTeco that are not meant for this region. So if you have such a support issue, it's going to come at a cost, sir.
Wow.
So you reach out to us on support, and we'll discuss how much what's the scope of the support and how much that support would cost to be attended to, please.
Okay.
So chat us up on support and we'll attend to it.
Yes, I have sent a mail, a couple of mails, but
okay, just resend the mail and can you just reply on the email and specify and say address just it to the head of support, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Ife.
All right. So we are going to be rounding up now. Thank you all for coming. So you can reach out to us via this medium shared on the screen. So if you have any issues, we are always here for you. So in 2 weeks, we'll be having a training on ZKTime-NG. And please do well to attend this training. So as you all know, our training happens every other week. So that's every 2 weeks. So thank you very much for coming. I hope to see you again next week. Bye.